Alright, since I need to make more videos, let's talk about gaming. I don't know about the latest gaming news though. Well, I'll try to tackle a lot of them, but I'll only talk about stuff I'm actually interested in because stuff like, let's say, The Last of Us Part 2. I don't own a PS4, so I couldn't care much about it. Can't play it. Yeah. And if I do go buy a PS4, well, number one, it's still kind of expensive. And number two, well, if I do buy one, it's just going to sit there and gather dust. Like I have a PS3 over there and a PS2. They've been saying they're unused for like almost 2, 3 years now. Yeah, I just don't get to touch them. I don't have a lot of time for video games already, and well, console games, never mind. I just concentrate in PC games, and that's it. Like right now, I've been playing a lot of Valorant lately. Yeah, I know. CS Overwatch requires that kernel level anti-cheat software. Like it's running right here, right now, I think. It's a bit of a burden, but hey, it's pretty effective anti-cheat software anyway. Or at least it looks like it, so eh. And then there's all those concerns about it having malware or, it's spying on you. Like it's going to try to sell you something. I don't know. But anyway, Valorant, it's a pretty fun game. I've been liking it so far because it's a little bit easier than Counter-Strike, a little less serious because of the abilities and stuff. And that reminds me of Overwatch, which I don't like playing anymore because of, I wouldn't say broken, but well, it's kind of problematic, Overwatch. And I still like the characters. I still like a lot of the gameplay. It's just that, well, queuing up isn't exactly what you call conducive for mental health, shall we say. First up, we got the Steam sale, Steam summer sale, and a lot of good discounts. This is pretty good. Here in the Philippines, if you buy 700 pesos worth of games, you get a 120 peso discount, so that's cool. Look at the daily deals they have. The BioShock franchise, good one. Endless Space is pretty fun. Antichamber is pretty good. If you've never played Antichamber before, you should. It's a well-designed puzzle adventure game. I guess you could call it that. If you liked Portal, you will like Antichamber. Hotline Miami, both games, 1 and 2. Great soundtrack, great gameplay, very difficult gameplay. I don't know if I've finished Hotline Miami 2 yet. I don't think so. I should really finish it. I finished Hotline Miami 1 and that was a real challenge, shall we say. Scribble Knots Unlimited. Scribble Knots, I remember that. I have a DS. I have a 3DS right here. I have a 3DS, which hasn't seen much use lately because, well, like I said, I don't have much time for console games, but I keep it around just, every now and then. Helps me go to sleep. Don't Starve. Never played that, but they say it's good. Defiance? Wait a minute. Is that the one with the reality show? Yeah, I think this is the one with the reality show. I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it's a looter shooter. It's a schluter. So it's kind of similar to Destiny. Toki Tori 2. Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, good game, pretty good premise. The Call of Juarez series is pretty good. If you're looking for a cowboy FPS, kind of reminds you of Red Dead Redemption. This is a good game. Left 4 Dead franchise, yeah. If you still play Left 4 Dead with your friends, that's cool. So I guess that's their daily deals for today, as of this recording. What do I have on my cart? I haven't bought games yet. I'm just about to. I'm still deciding on what I want to buy. And here we go. We got Moon Hunters, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. Because, well, I played this way back when, like 15 years ago, I think. And I finished them all. I finished all 3 major campaigns. The base one, Shadows of Untrentide, and Hordes of the Underdark. Pretty good game. Let's see. Desperados. Yeah, I've been meaning to check this out because turns out it's the other real-time tactics franchise. There was Commandos, which I grew up with, and then I played Shadow Tactics, really liked that one, and then Desperados is the one I never played. 1 and 2, and 3 just came out. They say it's really good, so I should check it out. Maybe I'll even stream it. Alright, Tooth and Tail, well, it's got a good discount, and I've heard of this every now and then. It looks like my type of game. It's a strategy game. What else? Party Hard. It's one of those strategy titles, and I really like strategy. So basically, with this game, and Tiny Build is a very good company. Very good publisher. They publish a lot of very interesting games. It says here it's similar to Hotline Miami 2 and Shadow Tactics. Well, floats my boat. Beat Cop, another one. Yeah, similar to Hotline Miami 1 and 2. Okay. And you basically play as a cop. Well, I played, what's that game? Police Simulator? I actually made a video about it, and that was Police Drudgery Simulator. I guess that's the point of the game. It's making you feel the drudgery of being a cop, and, well, with the situation nowadays in America, with Black Lives Matter, well, I don't know if a lot of people want to actually look at the other side of the fence, you know, how it is to be a cop, whatever. But I guess it's thematic. It matches the theme of the current times right now. So maybe I'll get this, yeah. I don't know if it glorifies cops. Don't think it vilifies them, because, well, the name's Beat Cop. But, hey, an interesting game. I might buy it. Yes, Dragon Commander. Divinity Dragon Commander. I don't know why I never got this game, because there are a lot of great things about this game. I've watched Let's Plays of it, and, well, if you like Grand Strategy and 4X, if you like turn-based tactics, if you like Civilization, plus you like the games like Fire Emblem, get this game. It's pretty good, and it's 99 pesos right now. That's great. I'll definitely get this one. All right, yeah, Headliner 1 and 2. I think this is very apt. A friend of mine actually got me to check this out, and from its logo, I didn't think it was that good. It was one of those indie titles, but then it turns out this could be a better version of Westport Independent. You know that one? The Westport Independent. This was a good game. It's almost like Papers, Please, but you're playing as a newspaper publisher. The only problem is this game only lasts for like 12 weeks, as in 12 rounds, and that's not enough. So it's good, but it's kind of short. But if you like that, well, you might like this game, Headliner 1 and 2. So I might get this. And finally, to prepare myself for the coming of Cyberpunk 2077, there's this game, Cloudpunk by Ion Lands, and it looks good. And I have a soft spot for anything Cyberpunk or anything related to it, like the DSX games, like System Shock, of course, and Shadowrun Returns. I should play Hard Reset again. You know Hard Reset? It's a cyberpunk-themed FPS, and it's pretty good. Anyway, Cloudpunk. I don't know that much about this game. It's an RPG. I might like it. So I'm gonna go for it. Maybe I'll stream it. And that's it. That's what I'm going to buy. And then I'll hit my budget of just under 1,000 pesos. Because every time there's a sale, most of the time I don't buy any games because look at my library. Look at how many games I have. That is from the bundle binge of 2015. I came upon a chunk of money in 2015. I saved most of it, mind you. I saved most of it. But a lot of it also I wasted on buying bundles from Humble Bundle, from what was it called? Bundle Stars, which is now called Fanatical. Yeah, I just bought a lot of bundles in 2015, and boom, my games library ballooned to that. And of course, I'm not gonna play all of them, but it's nice to have a really large collection, I guess. Yeah, I'm a hoarder. But I've cleaned up my act. I don't have an addiction. Don't worry, it's not a problem. Don't worry, I got a hang of it. Since then, I didn't buy as many games as I used to. All right. But yeah, that's a Steam summer sale. What's your haul? I want to know. Leave in the comments what you've got for this year's Steam summer sale. It'd be great, especially with this quarantine still going on. Well, it's lightening up now that it's July, but you know, COVID-19 is still a huge problem, and we may have to sit in our houses for a lot longer. So it's nice to have games. Diablo II at 20 years. Wow, it's been that long. I remember Diablo II when it first came out, and my friend Eric and I were really excited to try it out. So we went to a PC cafe that was actually pretty far away from our high school where we studied, and the very first character class I tried out was Amazon because I really liked the Rogue in Diablo 1. Well, that's because I'm cheap. So I like ranged combat that time. And I played with the Amazon and it was great. And but my favorite became the Paladin just because I'm cheap. When you spec a paladin in Diablo 2 well enough, you get the right items, you get all the right auras, you're nigh unkillable. Your resistances are like at max, your armor is really good, and vengeance is a really powerful offensive skill. So you just mow through everything while just sitting there tanking damage. I had a lot of good memories with Diablo 2. Mind you, during that time, I was also not averse to cheating in games. I spent a lot of time with save game editors. Well, I didn't play in Battle.net. I just played in LAN with friends. And I'll give them items that I generated with my save game editor. Yeah. It was still fun though. Lord of Destruction is still by far one of the best expansion packs ever made for any game. Even if you compare it to like DLCs for a lot of good games. Lord of Destruction and Brood War, they set the standard for expansion packs and DLCs. They don't make them like they used to. Not to mention Blizzard isn't like what it used to be. Am I excited for Diablo 4? Not really. I don't know if I want to give Blizzard any more of my money, especially with how it is now. Because it's no longer Blizzard, it's Activision Blizzard. Oh boy, even the fighting game community gets hit with this. The longer that this COVID-19 thing is going on, the more people get to sit and ruminate on, a lot of the injustices of the past. And guess what? Evo got hit with it too, because it turns out Mr. Wizard, the lead organizer of Evo, turns out to be a pedo. Why, oh why? Why do you do these things? Jeez. There's a quote that's apt for this situation and similar situations in a lot of other fields like streaming and pro wrestling and a lot of the other fields that have been hit with sexual misconduct allegations. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Capcom and NetherRealm Studios have announced that they're withdrawing from EVO 2020 Online. It's not as if they were going to be able to give a good showing anyway. Their netcodes are shit. They have delay-based netcodes. So I was looking forward to EVO 2020 Online to see the games that were tossed by the wayside by Mr. Wizard because of, well, they're not that commercially viable. They didn't bring in as much of the cash. And yet they have really good netcodes. Like Skullgirls. Skullgirls is the main victim of this. And like 8 years later, they were going to get their spotlight. Finally. Compared to all these AAA titles that don't have good online experiences, like Tekken. Tekken's another one. I wanted to play that online. I was really getting into Tekken, but then I tried to play online and... But yeah, they were going to get exposed. Then all of a sudden this happens, and now they have an excuse to pull out, and they're no longer going to be shamed in front of millions of people. Yeah, there's always something. It sucks. This comes after EVO tournament organizer Joey Mr. Wizard Cuellar, I don't know, was placed on administrative leave from the event following allegations of misconduct. Let's go to more positive news, please. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. There are 3 games I'm waiting for in 2020. This one, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Cyberpunk 2077, and the Mafia 1 remake. Let's get to those in a bit. Right now, there's this. And, Paradox Interactive. They're the good ones. I played a lot of Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines 1. I played almost every race at this point. No, not races. Clans. Vampire clans in the Camarilla. The very first one I played is, of course, Bruja. Then I played Gangrel. I played Toreador. I played Ventru. Ventru's kind of hard because you can't get blood from just about anywhere. And then I played Malkavian. That was it. I haven't played... I think I only not played 2 of all the clans. I have not played Nosferatu. I should, because they say playing Nosferatu is kind of interesting, especially if you know your way around in the game. I think it's going to be similar with this game. Hopefully there are more clans. Hopefully it's not just Camarilla. They also have Sabat and the Kuei Jin. What else? Asamites? I don't know. What are the other ones? Maybe you could play K-Tips as well. I know a little bit about the Vampire the Masquerade. And this is exciting. Although people have been saying, one, the graphics don't look as good as they should, especially the face models. But hey, it's not about just visuals with this game. It's all about the writing, the quests, and all the meandering paths you can take in order to accomplish missions and such. Oh, and you're playing in the Pacific Northwest because, well, the development team is based in Seattle, I think. They have a good reference just looking around all around them. Although, mind you, since they're based in Seattle, are they going to include the Chad, like, mini commune community that's going on right now in Seattle? You know Chad, aka Chaz? They basically made their own little community, their own micro state within Seattle. They occupied like a few blocks, and they've declared their own micro nation, which is very interesting. The mayor just let them, like, okay, go ahead. And they're kind of self-destructing from what I hear. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I don't tune into that news too much. But is this going to have a little bit of that? It'd be great if they have it. It'd be interesting. Especially since they have the Anarchs, because look at this trailer. Damsel's back. One of the more interesting characters in Bloodlines 1.
Move and the back of your head's gonna be so full of phosphorus, it'll be a war crime.
Yeah! Yeah, Damsel is back. Damsel is one of the major figures in the Anarchs. The Anarchs are basically, they're anti-Camarilla, shall we say. They honor the Masquerade, but they don't like the Camarilla, or just about anyone who's trying to take control of the vampires, just any power structure, shall we say. And Damsel is basically a red-headed Che Guevara with fangs. That's pretty much it. It is a female Che Guevara, and she's really loud, and I don't know, I like her character somehow. Her and Nines, I don't know, I found them interesting. Well, at least my teenage self found them interesting, and well, me being a teenager. Then there was this news that went viral like 2 weeks ago. That people started getting really mad about it. Vampires Bloodlines 2 missions can be skipped if you are triggered. Now, a lot of people started getting really mad about this because you're just gonna fold to the SJW crowd. Yeah, but you gotta understand that Bloodlines 1 had some pretty scary missions. Ocean View Hotel. That level, that map in Bloodlines 1 is one of the scariest experiences you'll ever have in video games. Not because it has really big, scary monsters. It's not because it has a lot of jump scares. It is kind of jump scary, but not really. The Ocean View Hotel was scary because it was just designed very well. This was in 2004, 6 years before Amnesia: The Dark Descent came out. And in 2004, you had 2 levels that were considered still to this day, one of the scariest levels ever made in video games. It was the Ocean View Hotel in Bloodlines 1, Shellbridge Cradle in Thief Deadly Shadows. Both came out in 2004, and they're incredibly scary because it got the atmosphere right. It got sound design right. And in Bloodlines 1, if you wanted to skip Ocean View Hotel, because even if it is not your first time going in that level, it can still be really scary. If you wanted to skip it, they put in a console command in a later patch that lets you skip it. Was it a side quest? I know every single time I played Bloodlines 1, I end up going into Ocean View Hotel anyway. I know it's kind of related to the main quest line. So I don't know what the fuss is about with this. Because you can skip that one, and that's like a 16-year-old game. So this one, if it's actually making me excited, oh, they think this is really scary? Alright, it better be. Oh yeah, and then, the other game I'm excited about, of course, Cyberpunk 2077. Not only because it got Keanu Reeves in it, but also just this world. Oh yeah. And it's very similar to Shadowrun. It's basically Shadowrun without the magic. That's pretty much it. Everything else is relatively the same. A lot of the jacking in and decking and street samurai. Oh yeah. Look at all these designs. All this window dressing. It's getting me really excited. Yeah, you got them cybernetic augmentations. Yeah, all that. Definitely my aesthetic. Yeah, and the mega corporations and all that. All the tropes in Cyberpunk. I'm really into that. And yeah, you know, if it's Cyberpunk, it has to have a lot of neon, a lot of wires, a lot of microchips and all that. And you got guns. You got futuristic guns. But of course, the main essence of Cyberpunk genre is high-tech, low-life. If you've read a lot of William Gibson, that's basically this. But this is now a distilled version of it, the crystallized version that has been influenced by films like Blade Runner, a lot of the Ridley Scott universe. Yeah, and there's Keanu Reeves in Aviators. That's cool. November 19th. Are they going to delay it even further? Because if it ends up being a 2021 release, hopefully, once this releases, I'll be able to buy a new video card. I want an RTX card. Right now, I'm running a GTX 970. And I know that should be fine with this rig, but I want to crank the quality to at least high. I want to see all that stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to buy a new video card and a new monitor. I want a better monitor than this. This is just a regular BenQ 22-inch monitor. I want to scale up to 24-inch, hopefully IPS. I don't know if I can get a 144 Hertz though. I don't know if I'm ready. Every now and then in games, I don't see certain details with this monitor. And because of the crunch, the development crunch, trying to get this game to come out in November, they're taking out a lot of features. And this one is one of the ones I'm really sad about. Wall running feature has been dropped. I wanted to do parkour, cyberpunk parkour with my cybernetic legs. I wanted to do that. I wanted to get a little bit of Mirror's Edge back into, you know, a futuristic setting. And I played a little bit of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. You can't do as much parkour in Cyberpunk 2077. I guess they had to take it out. It'd be a very hard feature to keep in, I guess. But they're saying there's still going to be a lot of flexibility in how you move, that's for sure. Shooters like Titanfall 2 are built around relatively small levels in which forward progress is everything, but in a larger and more vastly complex open world like that of Cyberpunk 2077, I have to think that this is just begging for no end of unforeseen headaches. Yeah, I guess I can see that. Shoring that up, polishing that movement in this kind of setting would be really hard. I can see that. And finally, the one game I'm really anticipating.
Sonny, Detective Norman.
A game that is close to my heart, Mafia 1. And they're remaking it. They're remaking everything.
Right out of the gate. That's what the paper says, ain't it?
You gotta understand, I made a 40-minute video about Mafia 1.
Yeah.
It's in youtube.com/avoiderdragon. If you want to watch it, if you're interested in learning about the story, watch that one. Although nowadays, I would never make a video like that ever again. It's just me retelling the story. It's not very interesting unless
What do they call you?
you want to be spoiled. That's about it.
Thomas Angelo, sir.
This game takes me back. Yeah! Detective Norman with a normal-sized tie. And he's not just wearing a white shirt anymore. He has a trench coat on. He has a vest on. Okay, he looks a lot better because in the original game, he looked like an absolute goofball. His tie, like, reached only up to the middle of his stomach, and that's about it. Really short tie.
Detective Norman.
They made Thomas Angelo look different now, though. Look at that. That's Lost Heaven. Look at that. I think this is Hoboken. Oh, Little Italy. This is Little Italy. Hoboken's right up north. They modeled the city after a mix of New York and New Jersey. Yeah, they made Tommy look different now. For those who don't know the story of Mafia 1, Thomas Angelo, Tommy, is a taxi driver. One night, he gets passengers that are basically being chased by a rival gang. He helps them escape, and then he is given money for his troubles. The next day, after making his rounds around the city, he gets attacked by that rival gang that were chasing the guys he helped. So he had no other choice but to seek their protection, and soon enough he was recruited into the Salieri family, the people he helped, and he becomes a gangster. He was drawn in by the money and the danger. Well, trying to get away from the danger, at least. And yeah, that's the story of Mafia 1. It's inspired by the movie Goodfellas. That's why I really liked it, because Goodfellas is also one of my favorite movies.
Case. Right out of the gate. That's what the paper says, ain't it?
The characters look entirely different now.
Pretty cold by now. Or you guys
There's Tommy.
warmed up? Yeah.
Yeah, there's Morello. They make him even more of an asshole now. There's this white suit, his white car, everything white, but he likes beating the shit out of people. There's the church. Yeah, you kill a lot of people in this church. I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but yeah, you have a shootout in the church. Look at all this blood. I have to consecrate the church again. I remember the priest saying that. Yeah, there's Sarah, who becomes Tommy's wife. Yeah, there's going to be a mission in the middle of the game where you have to substitute for a racing driver. In the original game, this is one of the most infamous levels ever because the racing in that level was shit. It was absolute shit. You're basically on ice. Like, the handling of the cars was not good at all. It slid all over the place. It's so easy to crash. It was so difficult that back in the day, I had to find a trainer, one of those cheat programs that lets me win the race no matter what. Even if I place last, as long as I finish, I will place first. Later on in a patch update, they put in a difficulty modifier, so you can put it to easy and the race becomes a lot easier. Your opponents become pushovers. But it was still finishing that race all by itself, unless you're going really, really slow, which is, tedious. It's a really hard level to play, and hopefully in this one they fixed it. Hopefully. Also, the gunplay in the original game was not that good. I remember this. That's Sam. This is Sam. Oh yeah, I remember this level. This is where you kill one of the top guys in Morello's gang. That's Don Salieri. He still pretty much looks like the Salieri of old, though. Okay, so at least they kept that hair, that face, and I think this is Frank Coletti, the consigliere. Here's Tommy. He's looking good, but he's not the Tommy I know. And that's Paul. Paul looks very different. He looks a lot less like Joe Pesci. Yeah, there's Paul. There's Paulie in the old game. He looks a lot like Joe Pesci. That was deliberate. Here's Don Salieri. Basically, these characters look a lot like their counterparts in Goodfellas. Even that poster, it looks a lot like Goodfellas. See that? It's fairly similar, right down to the style. Look at that.
Thomas Angelo, sir.
He looks good, though.
Thomas.
No, that angle.
Thomas Angelo, sir.
That angle makes him look like the Tommy of old. Yeah, that's Tommy in the first game. Yeah, there's some similarities. They polished him up. They gave him a stubble. They made his face look more defined because in Mafia, Tommy is a fucking death machine. You play as him and your kill count goes through the roof. So they really gotta make him look a bit more rugged. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for this game. When is it coming out? Hangar 13 though. I'm a little worried about them. They have kind of a I wouldn't say a bad reputation, but I've heard some stories about them. I think that's it for this gaming edition of, well, what do I call this? A gaming edition of somebody go out talking about shit video, yeah, series. I don't know yet what to call this. It's just me fucking around on video. Anyway, I think that's all for now. I turned off the aircon and the fan so it's quiet because RTX voice kind of fucks it up anyway. Like I can't shout and clap and do a lot of stuff without RTX compressing it to shit. That's why in the last video I did, Street Fights video one that got taken down twice. It taken down once and then it got flagged another time. But then I was able to appeal it because I made it 18 plus. Yeah, YouTube is not like it used to be. But yeah, my voice there was kind of choppy because of RTX voice, which sucks. Anyway, I gotta turn on the fan again because it's really hot. Anyway, till next time, stay Tor.